Most people who are actually intelligent, genuinely, unusually intelligent, have spent their whole lives being told the opposite. Not by strangers, by the people closest to them. And here's the strange part. The traits that signal real intelligence, they look almost identical to weakness, to sensitivity, to being too much or not enough. Psychology calls this a blind spot, and almost nobody escapes it. Today we're breaking down 7 signs that you are far more intelligent than you've ever given yourself credit for, from the ones hiding in your daily habits, to the ones you've probably been quietly ashamed of your entire life. Stay until sign number 5. That's the one most intelligent people say made them feel genuinely seen for the first time. Sign 1, you see problems where other people see nothing. You walk into a situation and immediately sense that something is wrong, even when everyone else seems completely fine. Your friend announces a new business idea. Everyone in the room is excited. You're nodding along, but in your head you're already running through the 10 ways it could fall apart. You say nothing, because you've learned that pointing out problems makes you the difficult one. This is called convergent analysis, the ability to rapidly identify weak points in a system before they become visible to others. It's a core marker of high fluid intelligence. Your brain doesn't just process what's in front of it. It simulates what comes next. The painful irony is that this gift gets mistaken for pessimism, for negativity, for being someone who can't just be happy for people. But you're not being negative, you're being precise, and there's a very significant difference. Sign 2, you carry other people's emotions without meaning to. You walk into a room and you already know the mood before a single word is spoken. Someone is upset. Someone is lying. Someone is holding something back. You and nobody told you. A colleague says they're fine, but the slight pause before they said it, the way they didn't quite meet your eyes, the flat tone underneath the words, you noticed all of it, and now you can't unnotice it. You'll be thinking about that interaction hours later. Research into emotional intelligence consistently shows a strong correlation with cognitive ability, specifically the capacity to hold multiple streams of information simultaneously. You're not just hearing words. You're processing tone, micro-expression, body language, and context all at once. Your brain is running a more complex social program than most people's. But here's what nobody tells you about this ability. It's exhausting, deeply exhausting. Carrying emotional information you never asked for about people who don't even know they gave it to you. That exhaustion isn't weakness. It's the cost of processing the world at a higher resolution. Sign 3, you find it almost impossible to turn your brain off. Other people seem to just stop thinking. They watch TV and they're just watching TV. You watch TV and you're also processing something that happened 3 years ago, rewriting a conversation from this morning, and quietly solving a problem you didn't even know you were working on. It's 1 a.m. You have work tomorrow. You are lying in bed completely still, while your brain runs at full speed through things you said, things you should have said, things that might happen, things that probably won't. And no matter how many times you tell yourself to stop, it doesn't stop. This is called default mode network activity. High-intelligence individuals show significantly higher activity in this brain network even during rest, meaning your brain continues processing, connecting and problem-solving even when you're consciously trying to be still. It's not anxiety. It's a cognitive engine that doesn't have an off switch. For most of your life, you've probably framed this as a flaw, as something to fix. But the same brain that keeps you awake at night is the same brain that sees solutions no one else can see. You don't need to be fixed. You need to understand what you're working with. Sign 4, you feel a specific kind of loneliness that's hard to explain. It's not that you don't have people around you. It's that you're surrounded by people and still feel profoundly, quietly alone. You're at a social gathering. The conversation is light and easy, and everyone is laughing. And you're laughing too. But somewhere underneath it, you're aware that you're performing a version of yourself, a simpler, quieter version. Because bringing the real you to this conversation would just make things complicated. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi studied highly intelligent individuals for decades and found a consistent pattern. The more intellectually complex a person's inner world, the harder it is to find conversations that fully engage them. This creates a kind of intellectual loneliness, not because something is wrong with you, but because the standard social script was never built for minds like yours. You've probably spent years wondering why connection feels so hard for you when it seems so effortless for everyone else. Here's what I need you to hear. You don't struggle to connect because you're broken. You struggle because you are looking for something more specific, and you refuse to settle for less. That is not a weakness. That is a standard. Sign 5, you doubt yourself precisely because you understand too much. The more you know, the less certain you feel. Other people seem so confident, so sure of their opinions. And you're standing there, aware of every exception, every counterargument, every shade of gray, and it makes you feel like you don't know anything at all. Someone asks for your opinion. A confident person gives a clean, simple answer. You find yourself saying, well, it depends, because for you, it genuinely does. You can see the argument from 4 different angles simultaneously. And that ability, which should be a superpower, makes you feel like the least certain person in the room. This phenomenon has a name. Psychologists call it the Dunning-Kruger effect in reverse. The less someone knows about a topic, the more confident they typically feel. The more deeply someone understands a subject, its complexity, its contradictions, the more uncertain they become. Self-doubt in intelligent people is not a sign of low intelligence. It is literally a symptom of high awareness. Every time you've told yourself you're not smart enough, every time you've stayed quiet because you felt like everyone else understood more than you, every time you've second-guessed yourself into silence, that wasn't stupidity talking. That was your intelligence protecting you from arrogance. And that distinction matters more than you will ever know. Sign 6, you process slowly, and that's actually the point. You don't always have the fastest answer. In fact, in a group conversation, you often think of the perfect response about 10 minutes after the moment has passed. And you've probably spent years feeling inferior because of it. Someone makes a sharp comment in a meeting. Everyone laughs and moves on. You sit there, quietly dissatisfied, turning the comment over in your mind. Later, walking home, in the shower, lying in bed, the perfect response finally arrives. Fully formed, completely useless. What you're experiencing has a name in cognitive science: deep processing latency. High-intelligence thinkers don't retrieve surface-level answers quickly because they aren't working from the surface. Their brain searches for the most accurate, most complete, most nuanced answer, and that process takes longer. The quick thinker gives you a fast answer. The deep thinker gives you the right one. The world rewards speed. It celebrates the person who speaks first and loudest. But intelligence was never about velocity. It was always about depth. You are not slow, you are thorough. And the difference between those two things is everything. Sign 7, you have always felt like you don't quite belong. Not dramatic, not always something you can articulate. Just a quiet, persistent sense that you are slightly out of step with the world around you. Like everyone else received an instruction manual for life that somehow never reached you. You watch other people navigate social situations with an ease that baffles you. You observe them making decisions without apparent doubt, forming groups effortlessly, following paths that everyone seems to agree on. And you wonder often, what is wrong with you that this all feels so foreign? Psychologist Letta Hollingworth, who spent decades studying gifted individuals, found that the higher a person's intelligence, the more likely they are to feel socially alienated. Not because of personality defects, but because their perception of the world is genuinely different. They notice more, feel more, question more. And a world built for average complexity will always feel slightly too small for a mind that operates beyond it. That feeling of not belonging, it was never evidence that something was wrong with you. It was evidence that you were always perceiving more than the situation asked for. You were always running a more complex program than the environment required. And the discomfort of that was real. But it was never a flaw. It was always a signal. 7 signs. 7 things you have probably spent years trying to suppress, manage, or apologize for. The overthinking, the emotional absorption, the brain that won't stop, the loneliness in crowds, the self-doubt, the slow processing, the feeling of not quite fitting. None of those are flaws. They are the exact architecture of a mind that sees the world in higher definition than most people ever will. Psychologists have a term for people who live this way. They call them the quietly gifted, not the ones who perform intelligence, not the ones who need you to know how smart they are, the ones who carry it privately, often without ever fully recognizing it in themselves. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs, even just one, I want you to sit with this for a moment. You are not too sensitive. You are not too complicated. You are not too much. You have simply been running a more complex program in a world that wasn't always built to appreciate it. If this felt like something you needed to hear, share it with one person who needs to hear it too. And if you want to keep understanding the hidden psychology behind who you are and why you are the way you are, subscribe. We do this every single week.